Hi, it's Matt from the AutoHarp store. Today we're talking about the OS11021 FHS and the OS11021 FHSE. The FHS is an acoustic only AutoHarp. The FHSE is an acoustic / electric AutoHarp. One thing that makes for such great wood tone under this honey sunburst design is the flame maple top. The top of this AutoHarp is flame maple. The back of it is solid spruce. Solid spruce is one of those woods that is a traditional for instruments such as guitars. It's been used for many years, has a great sound. The flame maple also has a good sound, but it has a beautiful wood pattern. All of our AutoHarps are constructed the same way. They start with a maple frame that goes around the outside of the AutoHarp, a maple sound box that is approximately this large, and then a 10-ply rock maple pin block. The pin block is what holds the tuning pegs in place. It's important that it's rock maple and that it's 10-ply. This will give a strong bass and these pins won't turn after you tune them. On this particular AutoHarp, I wanted to show you this because the finish allows us to actually see the 10-ply that I was talking about. Here you see the solid maple frame, and then you see it joined with the 10-ply rock maple. You can see the layers of the rock maple that are joined together to give that very strong pin bass. Another feature of this AutoHarp is the fine tuning system along the bottom. The way this works is you start with the pegs at the top that you find on all the AutoHarps. This will tune your strings to approximately the correct location. And then you utilize an Allen wrench and turn these pegs at the bottom. These pegs will be a very minute turn compared to the pegs at the top. This will get your fine adjustment and get the string in exactly the location for the correct pitch. Another thing that professionals like about the fine tuning system is less turns on the pegs at the top. The pegs at the top go into that rock maple base. It is just a peg into wood. So over time, many years, but over time, if you tune your AutoHarp a lot like professionals do, the constant turning of those pegs will loosen the peg in the rock maple base. However, if you have a fine tuning system, this will cut down on the turning of the pegs and allow your AutoHarp to stay in tune better longer. That positive note I just said about the fine tuning system also comes with a caveat. You do not want to overuse your fine tuning system to spare the pegs. The fine tuning system does have a limitation on how far you can turn these pegs down, whereas the pegs at the top that go into the wood have no limitation. So if you keep making your adjustments as the strings loosen, only with your fine tuning systems to try to spare your pegs, you'll finally run out of room that you can turn your fine tuning, and you'll be forced to only use your pegs from there on. So it should really always be a combination of turning your pegs at the top and then fine tuning with the fine tuning adjustments. Earlier I mentioned the OS11021 FHS is the acoustic only, and the OS11021 FHSE is the acoustic electric version. What this means is the one with the E at the end has a built-in passive pickup. Now you'll see here on the side it has a place for you to plug your amp in, a place for you to plug your amp. What this means is the one with an E at the end is the acoustic electric and has a built-in passive pickup. You may notice here you have a place where you plug your amp into. The passive pickup is relatively new to the AutoHarps. They've always had active pickups in the past. Active pickups require a battery pack built into the back of the AutoHarp and an equalizer built into the side. The downside of having this is you only have that equalizer and that equalizer alone. By replacing it with a passive pickup, you utilize your own equalizer. If you're a professional, you might want a really high-end equalizer, or you can get just a standard equalizer. But the option is yours. When you have an active pickup, you will utilize the equalizer that is built into the side and only that one. 2 points of interest on the modern day AutoHarp versus the older AutoHarps. One is the buttons and how far they go into the casing. On older AutoHarps, when you press the button, as the felt became aged, the top of the button could actually become flush, if not slightly below the casing cover. This could lead to it getting stuck in, and you have to unscrew the top and release the button. On the modern AutoHarp, they made the felt thicker. This way, when you press down on the button, it will not get trapped within the casing. The second point with the older AutoHarps, when you press one of the buttons, the cord bar coming back up would hit the plastic casing. This would make a clicking noise. For novice players, this was an annoyance. For professional players, this was somewhat of a disturbance to the sound of their music. Modern day AutoHarps have a foam that is glued on the inside of this casing. Now when you press the cord button, the cord bar raises back up and is virtually silent. We have a few promotions going on at the AutoHarpStore.com that I want to tell you about. First, we will ship your AutoHarp anywhere in the continental United States for one low flat rate of $20. Second, when you buy an AutoHarp from the AutoHarpStore.com, you get your choice of a free gig bag or $30 off a semi-hard shell case or a hard shell case. Third, you get a free tuner or a discounted rate on a digital tuner that is also a metronome and a tone generator. At AutoHarpStore.com, we not only have the product, but we have the knowledge you need to put it all together. We have a great staff standing by 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. We can help you put together an AutoHarp package. We can help you understand what you need to do to get your AutoHarp working again. You can contact us through live chat as well in case you don't want to use the phone. And we have great videos available for all kinds of repair and maintenance issues. Thank you and happy playing.